Is Gen truly on the side of the kingdom of science? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with more Dr. Stone, episode 10. So funny story if you didn't watch the Jormungand reaction. I mentioned it there too, but funny story. I had downloaded these episodes last night, and I don't know if it was just because I was tired or whatnot, but I got them from a different site than I normally do, and I accidentally got the dubbed version. I only found out when I started to record my reaction for Jormungand, and I realized this is in English. Wait a minute. So I checked the file for Dr. Stone, and it was as well. Now, it's nothing against the dubs for either of these shows, but we're reacting to these both in the subs, so I kind of had to go and download them from Anime Pahe, where I normally get them from. I think I downloaded them from 9 Anime last night because I don't know why. But whatever the reason, I got them from there instead, and I accidentally got the dubbed versions because of that. Because I've been using 9 Anime to get the dubbed stuff for Fire Force. So, I think I just accidentally made that small mistake. That's on me. It was easy to fix, though. So, yeah. I am interested to see what happens next, because last episode we met Gen, a magician from the old world, who is now working with Tsukasa. And he has been sent to act as a spy and to find out whether or not Senku is alive or dead. Because clearly Tsukasa does not trust that he's actually dead. Which just shows, it continues to show how smart Tsukasa is. Gen, however, seems more neutral right now. Like, he's working with Tsukasa because Tsukasa revived him and all. But he doesn't seem to actually be too invested in all of this. He's just kind of trying to determine which side he's going to fully join based on what he sees from each of them. If he chooses to side with Senku, he'll go back and give a false report to Tsukasa. Otherwise, he won't give a false report. But it's kind of still unclear. Like, it looks like that he was won over at the end of the last episode with the lights and everything. But I don't know. I don't know. He seems like the kind of character who's hard to trust. And it's hard to trust his reactions to things, I feel, as well. So we're just going to kind of have to give it some time. Excuse me. Give us some time and try to figure it out. See what we have in store. So, yeah. We're also still trying to get into the village to help Kohaku's sister. So that's still a goal of ours. And we're making progress on that. We are starting to make progress. We've even gotten the 2 guards on our side. So it's just a matter of time until we get in. But they're still building up to everything. And we're seeing that it's going fairly slowly. And I kind of like that. So many shows would just have Senku and them have gotten in like right away, pretty much. I kind of like that this is, pacing it out so that they're not just like rushed into things. They're actually taking the time to figure things out and logically process everything. Like the leaders of the village, the chief isn't just letting them in all willy-nilly. They're not forcing their way in all willy-nilly. they want to do this right, and I appreciate that. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, our allies are getting bigger. We're getting more of them. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's just a matter of what next. What do we do after that? So let's find out. Let's see where this continues to go as we now reach the double digits. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Listen, I'm easy to please. I'm pretty easy to please. You promised me something that I really enjoy. I'll be on your side too. Maybe not specifically cola, but hey, you promised me like some good bourbon whiskey. It's like that'll work. Or some like really good fancy cheese. It's like hell yeah. So I can understand where Gen is coming from. That's so silly, but at the same time, it works like 1,000,000,000% for this show. It is absolutely within the style of the series, within the humor and the silliness of this show. But it somehow makes it feel not normal per se, but understandable. Like it's made a very big point of telling us that Gen is superficial, that he is selfish, that it's like if it benefits him, that's all that matters. So the idea that like the one thing that's going to get him to fully be won over here, to fully pledge his allegiance to them, is a bottle of cola, just his favorite drink and all. It's like it makes sense. It works. It's like it's something he wants, something that he otherwise wouldn't be able to have in this world. It's like, yeah, for someone who is as superficial as him, for someone who is as selfish as him, that's going to be the deal maker there. Like if I were in this situation again and someone promised me like high quality bourbon whiskey, it's like I'd be on their side. Shit. You kidding me? Of course. Because it's like, where else would I get it in this kind of world? So it's like, it's completely understandable. But another big point of this episode, other than just showcasing that Gen is on our side, that he is a member of the Kingdom of Science, is this episode also gives us more insight into this Magma character and just how utterly fucked up and evil and terrible he is. Now, could he change? Yes, and this series definitely seems to be willing to go in those kind of directions. But I think that this is a character who at least needs to get his shit rocked here. Because he is insanely sexist. He is, like, very okay with murder. And very horrific murder on top of that. He is an absolute power-hungry psychopath who, at this point, needs to get taken down. And we had Kohaku beating him last time. But they're going to rehold the tournament because her father, the current chief, didn't like that she won because it's, it puts the village into a bit of a weird situation because the winner of this tournament is supposed to marry the High Priestess, is supposed to marry Ruri. Obviously, that can't happen with Kohaku winning the tournament. But I feel like the way that her father kind of like abandoned her is a little fucked up too. Though apparently she had been a bit of a troublemaker well before that. So now the big question is, how are we going to get members of the Kingdom of Science in there? I guess at this point, Kinro and Ginro are the two that are being trained up to fight in it and win. But how are they going to get in? Like, these two, yeah, they're part of the village and everything, so I guess maybe they'll be allowed. But it's like, no one from outside the village would be allowed, so Senku can't compete. But if it's found out that they're working with Senku and everything, would they be like disqualified from being allowed to compete? How does this all work? I don't know how this all works. That's my biggest wonder. Like, what are the rules for all of this? Because the rules seem to be a notable thing with this village, which makes sense. I'm just really curious. I'm really curious how, because the only thing I can think of is that they just don't know. They just don't end up knowing that Kinro and Ginro are going to be part of the Kingdom of Science. That's the only thing I can think of. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. It's going to be interesting, though. That much is for sure. I'm very curious to see how things go, to see how things work. We do get to check in with Tsukasa in this episode, though I don't think, at least, unless I somehow missed them, we didn't get to see the other two. We did see Tsukasa and a bunch of his revived defenders, I guess you would call them. So Tsukasa is building up his own army as well. And we saw when he revived Gen that he's gathering specifically the people who appear to be, the strongest, the most capable, but, not corrupt adults and everything, going with his ideology. So he is definitely trying to build an army. Because he's worried that Senku could still be out there, but he also wants to, enact his goals and everything. He's being precautious. And that's fair, honestly. I can't blame him for that. I guess we're just going to kind of have to see how it goes down. I assume next episode we're probably going to have this tournament thing. I don't know for sure, but I guess we'll see. In the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Dr. Stone? Let me know, and for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.